So right now, I should be part of a Australian government sanctioned national autism strategy community consultation session. Basically hosting, emceeing, being a part of an online community forum for autistic people in Australia to share their thoughts and feelings on the national autism strategy to help potentially improve the lives of autistic people. Of course, we know that nothing governments do is anything more than talk. The national autism strategy is going to fix the fact that autistic Australians have a lower life expectancy. 80% unemployed, mental health problems, criminal justice system, lack housing and basic needs, mental health conditions undiagnosed. Now, of course, the strategy is going to fix all those, Orion. So you're wrong. Yeah. Oh, my apologies. I mean, please. It's nothing but words, smoke, and mirrors. And I could have said that prior. Right? That's just from being a human, living, breathing, bloody human. Earlier in the week, I hosted, MC, facilitated, whatever, my first online community consultation online forum thing for the National Autism Strategy. And I had no issues with it in general terms, like emceeing it, hosting it, fantastic. But when it got to the point of the consultation session where we actually got autistic people to share their thoughts and experiences to help, it all went off the rails. So you got a group of autistic people who are asked to share their experiences to help improve their lives, because we did a study and the lives of autistic Australians are bloody horrible and so bad the government has to intervene. Right. So we're going to ask autistic people how to help them, right? You've got a group of autistic people trying to do that, but they're autistic. You can't say, okay, we've got 15 minutes to talk about social inclusion, everyone. Now, I know there's, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 people here. That's okay. You'll all be able to give 30 seconds each. So the bottom line is my experience was horrific. I'm an autistic person. Basically, I'm, in a way, trying to facilitate a conversation. But all I'm really doing, in effect, is trying to work out how do I cut off this autistic person or that autistic person and let that person talk. An autistic person trying to keep other autistic people on track or in line. That's not possible. And then it was like super stressful for me, but also because I felt like I was failing. I was failing getting somehow a scenario where these other autistic people could actually have their say. I was failing them, right? And that felt really bloody horrible. So that was a mistake. Me facilitating stuff, that was a mistake. And then I made it very clear at the end on email to the people that did it, knowing I had to do it again today. That look, that was very bad. And the mindset was I felt like a lot of the autistic people, number one, felt very frustrated and not heard, right? Now, if it's a community consultation period for autistic people to be heard for a strategy, you'd want them to feel satisfied and heard. You wouldn't want them to feel cut off, not heard, not listened to, not given enough time, and frustrated. That's a worst case scenario. Now, that was my experience. And those words were actually used. I heard the word frustrated used by people. I heard the word cut off used by people. I heard that was actually words said by not me, others. And that really got to me. It really affected me emotionally. It really upset me. And I was shot on Monday and on Tuesday, I was really bad too. I barely recovered in time for today. So today I logged on prior to the consultation session where you have a chat with the team that run it and the other people. We must have got talking about experiences and thoughts. And I mentioned that I'd been reflecting on, what I'd learned and how I can help other autistic people today to get the most out of it. And in my mind, and this is what I said to the group. So this is off stage, like this is not the session. This is a pre-meeting, right? So just the people involved in putting it together. And I said, I think we need to be honest with the autistic people coming along. I think on Monday, they thought they'd come along, they'd have a chance to be heard, they'd feel satisfied in being heard, they wouldn't feel pressured or constrained, and they'd go away feeling good, right? And that didn't happen. Now, you've got autistic people who have processing issues. Then you're putting time constraints on them and the pressure of performing on demand in front of other people, whether it's verbal or seeing it or whatever, on an online kind of Zoom setup. And to me, that didn't work at all. So we didn't have a good result. So I said, I learned from my point of view that I think it's important we're honest with autistic people. By the way, put in the comments if I'm full of crap or you think I'm wrong. I want to know. This isn't a yes man chat, okay? I said, I think we need to be honest with autistic people because that's how we think, that's how we operate, logical. And I think we should say, look, I know, this is what I basically said. I know you've got, let's say you're a person. I know that you've got a story to tell. I know you've got many stories to tell. I know you've got many experiences that you want to share. I know there's many things you want to contribute to making the life for autistic people better. But that won't all happen today. In this 2-hour period, we're not going to be able to hear everything you've got to say. What we can do, though, is ensure that we all have an opportunity to contribute and to be heard to some degree. Now, you may still leave this session today feeling like you haven't been heard fully or haven't been heard at all and feeling frustrated. But no, and I think it's really important we reiterate this because, autistic people like to hear things a few times. I think it's really important you understand, I know you've got lots to say, and I know it's important. And I'm just trying to tell you so you understand and you don't shut down that we're not going to get to all that. So let's try and make the best of it and focus on what we can achieve together, right? Now that was labeled by some of the team to me as negative, as me being negative. And then they said that I wasn't on the same page because I wasn't promoting a sense of positivity. The idea that we would tell people that they won't be able to say everything they have to say or be fully heard, or that I'm trying to be negative and not and ruin the vibe from the start. And because I'm like the MC, if I was going to be on that page, that would be bad. And they wanted to make sure I was on the same page as them. I'm like, what do you mean? What page do you want me to be on? Because all I'm doing here is using my honest experiences from doing this on Monday and reflecting on how I can help autistic people. Now, tell me if I'm wrong. Autistic people like to know the truth. If they don't and it doesn't happen, they shut down. We don't want you shutting down when you're trying to be heard. Didn't like it. What happened was, in the space of me logging on to get ready and having a chat, in the space of 5 or 10 minutes, it got to the point where I was repeatedly asked by the team. So this is the most emotionally distressing, upsetting experience. I feel, because they were asking me, are you sure? We just want to make sure you're comfortable. Are you sure you do want to do this today? Right? Are you sure? Because we really want to make sure everyone's, on the same page and we're all understand. And, I just want you to feel comfortable to know you don't have to do this. Keep in mind, when I told them how I felt on Monday, I actually put in an email. That didn't go very well. I didn't do very well. I don't think it was very effective. I'm happy to try again on Thursday, but if you'd like, you can find someone else. I actually put that in an email on Monday. Now, through email, we agreed, no, that's fine. We understand it is challenging. We'd love you to do it again. We'll just get some people to help you in other areas and it'll be fine, right? And then today, minutes before it's supposed to happen, I'm being asked again, well, it seems like you had a bad experience on Monday. Are you sure you want to do it again? Like, we just had this conversation at the start of the week. So I'm like was it gaslighting or something? And and to call me negative. No, but I wasn't being negative. I was actually trying to offer practical, honest advice on how to reach autistic people and get the best out of the situation. But they think in even remotely insinuating that autistic people won't feel heard, that autistic people will feel frustrated, that was unacceptable. That wasn't the page I needed to be on. Remember, this is one autistic person here, right? And in my mind, effectively being ganged up on by a group of people on a Zoom or whatever, a pre-meeting. So they're trying to fire me or get me to ditch without trying to fire me or get me to ditch, right? Because I'm like, I don't understand what you mean. You asked me about my thoughts and experiences. But doesn't mean that I'm just going to get on when I MC the event and rant. But it didn't matter. It's like they just kept pushing it. Like, do you want to be here? You sure you want to be here? It feels like, like a blah, blah, blah. It feels like I had nothing. I felt like I had no other option than to leave. And it actually got to the point where this bullcrap toing and froing of nothingness, where I actually said, you know what? It's late. It should have started. It's not fair on the autistic people that signed up to be heard, knowing that they're not going to be heard fully anyway. I really think, it's not just not worth it. I think I should go. I'm going to go because these people deserve to be heard. So I wish you all the best. And I hit leave and I left the meeting. So here's my issue, right, guys? I'm an autistic person who was approached by an organization to be a part of an autistic consultation period, an autistic consultation session online for autistic people to be heard because of a national autism strategy to help autistic people. And you've got an organization with presumably a group of neurotypical people telling me that I'm not on the right page to help autistic people have the right experience at a session designed to hear autistic people, to therefore help autistic people. In fact, I shouldn't be there. I should consider if I should be here or I should do this. Do you understand the irony here? An autistic person was too autistic to remain the face of or part of an online session for autistic people to share their autistic thoughts to help autistic people. I'm the problem. I'm the problem. And what got me was there was actually another person on this little pre-meeting chat. And I actually think that person might have actually been an autistic person who was also like being a part of some group stuff. And they actually said they agree with the team person that we should remain positive, right? As in like going against me. I'm thinking to myself, so I must not be right. I must be moronic. Then I'm thinking to myself, hang on a second. When they mean stay positive, they don't mean stay positive. They mean lie. Staying positive they're not asking me to stay positive. They're asking me to lie. They're asking me to literally, we should stay positive. Welcome along, guys. You're all going to be heard today. You're all going to have a great experience. You're not going to feel cut off or pressured or struggling with the sensory overwhelm or all the other issues. You're going to walk away not feeling frustrated. No frustration here, guys. Everyone's heard. Don't worry about that. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Yeah, they ought to be. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm on a different planet now. I'm on a different planet now. Seriously, there's some autistic person saying they agree with the positivity. And that's because I'm negative. I'm negative that I want to tell autistic people that they've got a big story to tell and it's worth being told, but it's not going to happen today for everyone. Like, it's not practical. We're talking about a 2-hour session and 4 different pillars and broken into time. And I'm the one dampening the proceedings or being negative. And then I should side with the team who want positivity, which is just actually not positivity. It's lying. That's all it is. And then I actually said to the team leader person, listen, I don't know if you're autistic or not, but I've got an autistic brain. And trust me, I'm not being negative. I'm being logical. I'm being practical. That's how my brain works. And by the way, autistic people wouldn't think I'm being negative either. So you're judging me based on what you think, but I'm talking about what I'd say to autistic people to get the best out of the situation. So in effect, fired from another job, another opportunity to work for the autistic community through an organization who would actually pay me money, gone. Gone before it even started. For being autistic. Sorry, not being autistic. For being negative. For not being on the same page. So a neurotypical team member running a session wanted to make sure that an autistic person was on the same page. There is no same page, guys. They're different brains. You've got a neurotypical brain, you've got an autistic brain. Different pages, mate. You can't be on the same page. So that's why we have to understand each other, right? And the way you understand each other is by me going, well, actually, team leader, just so we can understand each other, I wasn't trying to be negative. That's my way of being honest and open and logical. And by the way, I actually preface it with saying, I'm trying to help people. I looked inside myself on the failure of Monday to say, how can I help autistic people not have that experience? And my idea was to be honest. I know you've been through a massive amount of crap in your life and you've got lots of stories to tell and I want to bloody hear them. But it's not going to happen today. We can't hear them all today because there's all these autistic people that want to be heard. So we need everyone to be heard to some degree, but it's not going to be the degree you want. And you're probably going to feel unheard and frustrated. Tell me that isn't true. But that's negativity. That's not true. We have to be positive. So ask me 7 times if I still want to be here, if I should be doing it. I don't understand. You've got a neurotypical person trying to get me to leave or something, and my mind doesn't even understand what they're talking about. I'm like, you know what? I will leave, but not because I feel like you're asking me to be fired or go away, because I feel so unwanted, so unappreciated, so understood. By the way, this is in the context, guys. Remember, in the context of an autistic person feeling this, hosting an autistic consultation session. So yeah, I left. There goes the work, there goes the money, there goes the opportunity. And why? Because I'm an autistic person being too autistic for other autistic people at an autistic community consultation session because they think that you, autistic people, would think I'm being negative or I'm not on the same page. Now, the only people who are being negative and not on the same page are you guys, you neurotypical teen people. It's toxic. Everyone's going to be heard today. No one will be frustrated. And let me say this. My experience from being a part of this is that, in fact, the governments don't want to hear from us. The governments did a study in Australia, the Senate report, that deeply looked into the lives of autistic Australians. I've done videos on this. The results were horrific. Now, they weren't expecting that. Yeah, they weren't expecting that. Whoa, hang on. What? Their life expectancy is less than any other peer? They're like 80% unemployed. They're homeless. They have mental health conditions that are undiagnosed. They're in the criminal justice system, yet they're less likely to offend. How is all this possible? This is horrific. They didn't expect all that. Like, holy crap. We've got to do something about this now. We can't just table it and move on. Guess what? They tabled it in March 2022. It's October 2023. They tried to table it and move on. And then it's like, oh, we better do something. Let's implement a strategy. You tell me there's an autism strategy that's going to extend the lifespan of my autistic son, because we're stuffed. You really think the strategy is going to implant into the minds of employers so my son doesn't go through the same experience I go through or you go through every day? Getting fired from jobs or pushed out of jobs because you're not wanted, or your class is being negative or not on the same page. Not on the same page. What page are we talking about? Honesty, truth, what? It's nothing more than political. Well, we know it takes a village to raise a disabled child. That's what a politician said. I was there live. I'm thinking to myself, what in the hell are you talking about? I get what you're saying now. It takes a village to raise an autistic child. What you mean is the village is a village that has all the money, asks the disabled child what you need, then makes them prove they need it, then beg for it. Then they give them 40% of what they actually need, but then make them feel guilty and shameful for taking it. But then every time they use it that they've been given, they go, why'd you use it for? And then when they get scared of using it, they go, why haven't you used it? You haven't used it, you don't need it, no more. That's the goddamn village. I'll tell you right now, the village can piss off. We don't need you, mate. The village can go away because you aren't doing chicken crap, my friend. You can burn your village to the ground for all I care. So seriously, I can't believe that in just being me, that I can be so yuck to other people. I can't believe that just being me, just turning up to do something and being my honest, normal self can be so horrible for people. How am I? I'm so unlikable. I'm so unemployable, unwanted. I can't believe it. I'll legit never recover from this crap. And that she said, you mentioned that it was one of the worst experiences you've been through on Monday. Are you sure you want to go through that again? I'm thinking to myself, but you just said it's not going to be like that, right? So hang on, you can't use that on me if you're just saying it wasn't like that and it's not going to be like that. What I'm trying to say is, I get that you're a team that have been employed by the government to do these things, and good on you. Fantastic. You take the money, you do your job, you go home, whatever. But this isn't a job for me. This is actually my life and my son's life, right? This isn't like a little joke. And also, it's not one size fits all. Like, oh no, but we always have to be really positive and tell people that everything, all their dreams will come true. But no, you don't. In this audience, you don't. I mean, I can't even believe the experience. And what's funny, guys, here's the funny thing. Right now, there are more people watching me right now live, online, talk about this experience. There's more people watching me rant about not being a part of it than there is people actually being a part of it. Okay, let me ask you this. Do you really think the best way to help autistic people, right, through the government, all this kind of stuff, is by not telling the government the truth, is by not being open and honest to the people trying to get the information? Do you really think I should mask? Now, my wife actually said, it was a good point. She said, maybe if you really wanted to do it, you should have just lied, masked, and just said, no, I'm definitely on the same page. I won't say anything bad. This is going to be great. And they would have let you do it. And she makes a great point. But only a neurotypical could have come up with that point. I never would have occurred to me. It never occurred to me to just lie to her. You know what? Yeah, I will. I never did. It's a great thought, though. That is the only way. to make difference for our kids' lives, our lives, is to be honest and open. But no, we can't do that. So rather than me being a part of an autistic consultation period for autistic people, I'm talking to you guys, significantly more you guys than what I would have been talking to, because I was too autistic, and in their words, I was being negative and wasn't on the same page because I wanted to be honest with autistic people. The idea that in a 2-hour period that, 50, 60 autistic people could all be heard to the point where they're satisfied and not frustrated or feel unheard is frankly, from my experience, actually happening on Monday, is frankly unrealistic, is wrong. So the idea that I shouldn't be there and providing some sort of insight to autistic people is the reason why I'm not there. That's horrible. You've got to be positive, Orion. You shouldn't be telling them they'll be frustrated or not heard, but they are. That's the case. You can't get a massive group of autistic people and expect them all to be heard and satisfied in small time constraints with the processing pressure of, here's the next question, demand. Yeah. So maybe I'm not up with the corporate mentality of toxic positivity, but the good is, you've made it in. Not many people got in. It's a finite group. You've made it in to the opportunity to share your story or your piece to help the lives of autistic people and contribute. And I just want to make sure that you understand that we know you have a story to tell, but it might not all be told today. We might not have the time for everyone to share all the things they want to share, but everyone will have a chance to contribute. That's what I'm proposing. And yes, I am proposing saying, and that does mean, guys, you may feel a sense of not being heard or frustration at the end. But I'm saying this at the start, so you use that as a motivation to at least come up with the things you know are really important that you want to convey, and can at least convey them. So in saying that, I'm giving you, an autistic person, in my mind, logically, the motivation to go, okay, cool, so I won't get everything out. He said that, right? I thought I would. That's a bummer, but he said that. So what do I really need to get out? Okay, I'm going to get that out. And how is that bad, by the way? Here, another autistic guy, not on the same page as everyone else. Welcome to my life. But it shouldn't be pointed out to me on a situation where I'm trying to help autistic people improve their lives, like honestly and truly. So you know what? Good on you. Well done, guys. Thank you so much to the team that wanted to bully me out of being a part of something to help autistic people because I was too autistic for them and too honest and logical and open. Good for you. What a great job. And what context was that in? Oh, to help autistic people. Oh, you really helped me. You really helped me mentally, emotionally, spiritually, everything. You really helped me. I can't imagine why autistic people struggle with employment. Can't get my head around it. They may well go, well, Orion, we didn't fire you. We just asked you repeatedly if you're sure you want to still do this today. If you're more than comfortable or welcome to go, it's okay. Like, that's being fired. That's firing an autistic person when they're about to do an autistic event for autistic people without doing it. I mean, let's be honest. I'm not a moron. They needed to know that I was going to make sure that everyone knew that what they were putting on today would leave everyone feeling completely heard and satisfied and not frustrated. And somehow that needed to be the result, even though it won't be the result today. I'm not there, but it won't be the result today. It wasn't on Monday and it won't be today. And other people can go, oh, Ryan, I was in a different group to you and it was amazing. Great. Fantastic. I'm talking about the group I was in and the experience I had. And that was, I felt horrible for these people, completely let down for these people. And it doesn't matter if every experience is different. I guarantee, we even in the main group, I actually heard people use the phrase about being cut off today. People being cut off, not heard, not being able to speak, having their hand up and ignored, right? So people that aren't me saying that is all the proof I need. Yet to make you feel better, like you're doing a good job, your organization's amazing, I've got to be on the same page. By the way, it's not my job to be on the same page of neurotypical people or organizations who have put us in the life we're in, which is so bad the government have to intervene and come up with a strategy. They should be welcoming me being on the wrong page. They're on the wrong page. I'm on the right page. Or we wouldn't be doing this. Why would we be having a meeting to help autistic people at this consultation event if we're all on the same page? No one's on the same. Our life would be good. I'd rather be that and get pushed away from events like happened today than force myself to be someone I'm not and really achieve nothing. So I'd rather help people and be me than not be me, and I don't know, somehow be more successful. I felt just completely shamed and rejected and just ganged up on and spat out. And there's something about it too, processing it. It's really hard for autistic people. That's a pretty traumatic experience, to be honest with you, to rock up for something, to have a conversation that ends up basically you leaving or feeling kicked off. I don't like dramatic situations or confrontation. Yet it follows autistic people because of the neurotypical nature of somehow being honest is negative, and in their mind being positive is lying. See, positive and lying are two different things to me. They're not the same anyway. Can I just say, before you guys, before a channel and a community and live chats, before this, I don't know how I would have processed or got through something like this, because I'm just honestly just a bit of gratitude, to be honest with you, for you guys, because this is one of those experiences you don't expect to go through. You don't expect, especially in the context that it is. But you know what? I'm starting to realize as an autistic person, not many situations are going to be favorable for you if you can't work out how to be as neurotypical as possible, which I always bloody struggle at or fail. And it's really horrible. It's like just to see people turn on you when you dare say something or have a different perspective, and when you dare not be on their page. So to be able to talk to you guys about it, I can't even tell you how important it is. Hopefully what I'm getting from you guys can get from each other as well, by talking to each other in the comments. And it means a lot to have a group of people here that are able to listen and share and all that kind of stuff. It means a lot. But man, how do you recover from this kind of stuff? Let me ask you this, guys. Is it okay if I say, honestly, I'm not trying to be aggressive or offensive. Is it okay if I say, in going through this experience, you ask me a question and I won't answer it, but I'll give you like 7 different backstories, 5 different experiences, and 7 different rants in the space of 3 days, none of which come close to the answer to the question. And some person's got to listen to this. And that's why I said this session should have been 6 hours, not 2. Because autistic people can't answer a question in 3 minutes. It's not going to happen. Autistic people answering a question, there's things you've got to factor in. Okay, you've asked me a question. I need to answer it. How do I do that? Okay, firstly, I share 3 experiences from my life that I think were bad. Then every time I have an idea from that, I rant off on that. Then I come back to that experience. I finish those experiences and I talk about what I hate about the world, and I complain and I'm negative. And then I talk about why and then I go to this rant and that rant. And then I say, oh, they're not there anymore. It's tomorrow. And that's how you answer a question as an autistic person. Am I right or am I right, peeps?